On this week's episode of the Marketing Expedition podcast, I get to speak with Natasha Miller, and she's not your average CEO. She sits at the helm of Entire Productions, the go-to experience design, event, and entertainment production company in San Francisco, and has been on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in America for 3 years in a row. Natasha's passion and commitment to giving back drive her invariable contributions and participation with numerous charitable organizations. She's also performing as a jazz vocalist and a trained classical violinist. Natasha is a proud graduate of Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses and has studied entrepreneurship at the Harvard Business School and MIT, and is a member of the Recording Academy Grammys, ASCAP, SF, San Francisco Travel and Meeting Professional International, or MPI. She resides in San Francisco, California, where she's a member and on the board of Entrepreneurs Organization. All right, and now let's get to our podcast.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast, an auditory journey through the latest in marketing, branding, and advertising. Now, here's your Marketing Expedition guide, Ray Allen.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. I'm your host, Ray Allen. I'm the president and CEO of Peppershock Media and the founder of the Marketing Expedition community and of this podcast. And today's guest, we have Natasha Miller. Welcome to the show, Natasha.
Thank you very much. And it's so good to be here with you, having met you a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
It's been a little bit. Yeah. In the nice cold winter weather in Idaho at the time, huh?
Yeah.
And where are you calling from now?
I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Aha, that's right. So Natasha, let's share with our audience a little bit more about you. And I know you've got a book coming out, so exciting. And we met because you were a speaker at this really awesome event and a room full of wonderful women, a part of EO, Entrepreneurs Organization of Idaho. And I know you're in Entrepreneurs Organization in your area too, right?
I am. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, but my chapter I've chosen is Los Angeles.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, just share a kind of a story. I mean, your story is so fascinating. Of course, people will get to read the book, but just give a little glimpse, a little taste of who you are.
I am a Midwestern girl who had just a love and passion for music. And it turned out that music really saved my life and created incredible opportunities for me going forward. I thought I would just be a musician or just be a performance artist, which there's nothing wrong with just being that. But I ended up with this profitable multi-million-dollar business and now a book about the story of my life. So things have gone wildly different than I had expected growing up.
And you're listed on the Inc. 5000 list or entrepreneurs list too, right?
3 years in a row.
Congratulations. That's so awesome. Someday I'll be like you. Well, and okay, so tell a little bit about the business too, because what you do is really just, it's what people need. So tell a little more about the business side.
I mean, basically it's an experiential marketing company. We do event and entertainment production for high-end, mostly corporate special events. So if Salesforce or Apple or Facebook, LinkedIn, those are all of our clients, have a big event for their teams or for their potential clients, it's not always internal. And they want it to have like all the bells and whistles, lights, camera action, aerialists dangling from the ceiling. They call us.
I love it. So this business of yours has been wildly successful, and now somehow you managed to put in the time in there to create this wonderful book that is about to come out. Let's just share a little bit about that.
Yes, the book has taken me 4 years to write. And if we're honest, 51 years to write, right? Because I had to live the life first.
Yes.
But I'm only 51, so don't add another 4 years. So anyway, I started it 4 years ago. A lot of people are like, oh, I thought it was a COVID project. I'm like, oh my God, if someone can write a book, publish it and market it in 2 years, I mean, it's a lot of work. The marketing is so much fun and it's kicking our butt. So anyway, here's the deal.
Well, that gives me hope because I'm on year 3 now on my book. So that gives me hope. Yeah.
Yes, it takes time, right? And I'm actually teaching a class to people about how to write the story of their life in a more systematic, processed way. That doesn't mean you can't be creative and have an incredible prose, but you have to get started with the right framework. Anyway, the book is, I would say it's a business memoir. The first half of it is the story of my upbringing and the abuse that I endured and, being dropped off at a homeless shelter on Christmas Day at 16 and then living on my own since then. And really entrepreneurship started for me at about that time out of necessity, but also probably it may have been, something that I had innately. I'll never know. There's no way to know. And then the second half of the book naturally kind of goes into when I started Entire Productions officially 21 years ago. And I started it as a lifestyle business, and now it's grown into something much bigger than that, much bigger than me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to read it. And I'm so excited that I get to have a copy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it is a roller coaster. Someone said it's a roller coaster on steroids. And, that was a good compliment. And then someone else said a roller coaster on steroids, it's a whole amusement park. So I was like, oh my God, my life is being, reduced to, craziness. And really there are a lot of very high and very low inflection points. Every single human struggles. There's no, you can't be alive and not. My story may be slightly more unique than others, but, just even at our event that we did, a couple of people came up to me and shared pieces of their story, which was pretty amazing. I didn't realize the impact and the effect the writing of my book and me being so vulnerable. Like I tell things in this book that you would have, I was just going to say that you would have a hard time sharing with your best friend. I didn't share some of these things with my best friend.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, was it when you decided to do this? I mean, for me, the hardest part would be sharing some of those things that you don't want to be judged, or you don't want to be, all of those things. I mean, what was that like for you? How did you overcome that and just let yourself share these things?
Well, I started out writing, and there's safety in writing because nobody's reading it yet.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You could be writing your book forever and no one needs to know your secrets. Then right before the pandemic, I was at the Inc. 5000 conference and I was a speaker. So I was invited to be at a table of other speakers. And these people had anywhere up to 8,000% growth, which is crazy in a year, or billion-dollar companies. And I was surrounded by the owner of calm.com, a billion-dollar company. And anyway, I won't name drop further than that, but I said for the first time, and again, this is a little over 2 years ago, I said, I am writing this book about the story of my life, and I need to practice saying out loud these things because I've never said them before. And so I introduced myself, and I think I probably said something along these lines. I own a profitable multi-million-dollar business, and I have been abandoned or, lived in a youth shelter. And the whole room just got so quiet and literally, physically leaned in. And that was my first time saying things out loud. So you start saying them a little more, and you get used to it. And now I realized that instead of being embarrassed and ashamed of some of the coping mechanisms I had, of some of the experiences that I endured for too long sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm being helpful to other people, it's so much easier.
Right.
Also, I have time on my side, right? I have established myself. I do have levels of success. Yeah. And I'm at an age where, after 40 is amazing. My 40s, amazing. After 50, you no longer could care less what anyone thinks of you. Yeah. Right. Because there's so much confidence and history behind that. Right. And so, I don't say it's not a tell all. I still have some secrets that belong to me and only me, but I do tell the things that I think are incredibly helpful to other people.
Right, right. Well, I am getting inspiration from you because I've been invited to speak at EO Talks, which is like TED Talks. Yeah. And which is really quite an honor, and it's all about transformation. And I am kind of going through that right now and just trying to figure out what part of my story do I want to tell. And so I think just hearing you say that you don't care what other people think, and if you can help others through that story that you're telling, motivation and inspiration to be able to be successful, even though you were a youth in a homeless shelter, look at you now, right? And I think that is definitely motivating to me to be able to say, look, what she did, I can do it too. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you read my book and you're doubting yourself and your ability to do the things that you want, or the ability to go to something that you don't think is for you, you're going to read my book and go, oh yeah, well, if she can do what she did with her circumstances, I can definitely do this. So like, get out of my way. I don't write it. It's, it's not written as a self-help book or a motivational book. No. I don't think the word manifest or mindset is in it one time. And there's no like prescriptive to-dos or like get your pen and paper out. You just read the story and hopefully you're taking on this incredible journey with me. It reads like a book of fiction, but it is not fictitious. So I hope that everyone that finds themselves coming to it, really, really enjoys it, is entertained by it, because there are some very funny parts.
Yeah.
Very funny parts. And then there's some really hard parts.
Right.
But for me, saying them out loud gives voice to others and gives them the ability to say, oh, I can actually, if she's saying that out loud, I could. Nothing horrible is happening to her.
Yeah, no, I think that it definitely can give other people inspiration, and just the fact that you have done this and now others can too. Like you said, it just gives you a little bit of that extra courage to get out there and tell that story that could be so meaningful to somebody else and help them in their journey too. So I got to hear a little bit about your story when you came and spoke to our group, and it's really touching and just awe-inspiring to see where you are and where you've come, and just do all of the things that you've been able to do, and flying trapeze people from the ceiling.
Wait, let's back up. I am not the flying trapeze people, but I have them on our roster.
Of course. But yeah, and get to work for some of these amazing companies too. I mean, that's really impressive. And, I'm just so proud to get to know you and hear your story. And I just wanted you to come on this to be able to share with others so that they can, get to know you too, and understand, where you've come and where you've gone and where you're going, right? I mean, I think this is going to take you on a new trajectory. What are your goals? What do you want to see as a result of this book that you've put out there?
I want people to read it. So I think a lot of people want to sell books, and certainly there's an ego boost to that, and there's a return on investment because it's very expensive to self-publish. I've started my own publishing company and imprint, but it's very expensive. The way I'm doing it is very expensive. Let's just put it that way. So I'm not really in it for the money, but I want people to read it, and I want to it's part of my legacy. I want to, even if I never hear about it, impact people positively. And then hopefully there's a ripple effect. And again, I don't need to know, and I don't need to transform your entire life, as I told you guys before.
Yeah.
So that's one goal. And then, I had a goal of 25,000 to sell, but really to read. And I'm being told that it's probably going to way surpass that. And, I think I told you this in the event that Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul, the author of that series, said, won't it be something when in a year we're talking and a million people have bought your book?
Yeah. Oh my
God. So
gosh.
that's pretty amazing. There are people that want to option the story for movie and TV rights. We'll see where that goes.
Right.
I want to be very careful about how my story is told and where they have to plump up the fiction, for cliffhangers and such.
Ooh, who would you want to have play you as an actress?
Oh God. Over 10 or 15 years ago, my story with my friend Bobby Sharp was optioned for Hollywood. And there was talk that Megan Mullally was interested. And who's the gal that was on Weeds? She has 3 names.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh, I'll come up with it.
We'll just yell it out in the middle of the podcast. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have it's way too soon for that.
Well, it'll be fascinating to watch the story as your story unfolds, right? And see where you go with it and how it brings other people just to have this capability of being able to read the book, and I love that it's not necessarily about the money, it's more about the story. And as people get to watch it and listen to it. So, okay, just give the audience just a tiny little nugget of maybe something that's in the book that you don't want to give away everything, but just give us a little taste.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Okay.
I don't know if I said this to the group, so I don't know if this will be something, but in 2019, while I was doing research for the book, I discovered something that was just shot a rocket through our entire family. And I had to put the book writing down for 6 months. It was such a huge deal that I discovered. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it made it into the book. Ooh. So I started writing again after some time passed, and the book ends at the end of 2020. So you can find out what that big discovery was that just rattled our entire family. Yeah. Yes. Maybe Hollywood doesn't need to invent any more drama than I have endured.
Yeah, what you've already endured. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What a sad day when somebody sits me down and says, okay, we want to option your story for a 10-week series. And no, we don't have to invent anything because your life was crazy enough.
Oh gosh. I can only imagine how that conversation will go. Now it's time for a message from one of our partners, Kitcaster. Did you know that podcasts are a great way to grow your personal and business brand? And Kitcaster is a podcast booking agency that specializes in developing real human connections through podcast appearances. We've had several guests from Kitcaster on the Marketing Expedition podcast as well. So if you're an expert in your field, have a unique story to share, or an interesting point of view, it's time to explore the world of podcasting with Kitcaster. You can expect a completely customized concierge service from their staff of communication experts. Kitcaster is your secret weapon in podcasting for business. Your audience is waiting to hear from you. Go to kitcaster.com/expedition to apply for a special offer for friends of this podcast. So, okay, a couple things since we are on a marketing expedition. Yes. And we want to talk about marketing. So, and I always love to give our audience just some, maybe some aha moments or some ta-das, whatever, as you're going through this journey and getting the book out there, what are some of the things that you're doing to get it out there in the world?
I have a 25-point monster marketing plan.
Ooh.
And it is taking a small army to work on it. So I have a launch team that I've hired, and the company is called NG Enterprises, and they have this really intense program that helps you identify your biggest influential people and then get them on board to help you market it so that you're not doing it all yourself.
Oh, I feel so special. I got an email to say, hey, do you want to be a part of our team? Yeah. Anyway, okay, awesome.
That's one thing. I have an incredible book trailer. Have you seen it?
No, I'm going to have to watch it. Ooh, yeah.
So I hired a team from LA, another EO member, to create the trailer. And then, of course, we have a social media plan for the year. And I am on media interviews and podcasts basically for the last few months. A lot. If I had to count, I'll have been on over 100, I think.
Ooh, fun.
And they just keep coming, and they're so great because I learn a lot. from doing them and from the host and from what comes out of my mouth. And I'm like, wow, I'm surprised I said that.
Quotable moments, right?
And then we repurpose everything via this incredible artificial intelligence platform called lately.ai. And they chop up like this video. If you send me the rough video or the raw video, we can run it through there. And then we can schedule to sprinkle it out on any kind of cadence for any amount of time. So literally, hopefully you'll send this to me. We'll put it through lately. It'll carve out the little talking points that we've had. And then I can schedule the 35 to 70 posts that will come out of this, depending on how long we're at, on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and they can be parsed out like 2 a day on Twitter for the next, how many weeks, or once a week for a year. It's pretty amazing. So lately,
gotcha.
.ai. And then we've done this incredible box, and I wish I had the whole thing here, but so we created this influencer box.
Cool. Let's describe it for audio only listeners.
It's got the book cover. It's got words like unvarnished candor, what is possible, determination, beautiful and gripping. These are some of the things that, were said about the book. And then I had this gold necklace made with my calligraphy that says Relentless. So this goes in each box. There's a couple of other things that have only to do with the book. So you would not, when you open it up and you see a couple of these things, you're like, why are these in here? But you'll eventually figure it out if you read the book.
Little clues. I love it.
There's this workbook, Memoir Sherpa, that goes with the 12-week course that I'm teaching to teach people how to write, publish, and market their own books.
And, by the way, you just created your own publishing company out of the result. I love it.
You know what? The traditional publishing was not right for me. The deals weren't good enough. There was no point in me giving my intellectual property away to them, because even if you're signed to Simon & Schuster, or Penguin, or Random House, you have to do all the marketing and publicity yourself. They'll do a tiny bit. And if some reason you go viral or become a big sensation right before you launch, then they'll put some money behind it, but otherwise forget it.
Oh, wow.
So those are some of the things. I was going to do an NFT project, and I realized that would have broken me. It would have just killed me. And my audience wasn't really there yet.
Right.
I'm
They're still coming around. Yeah. It's still taking some time.
I'm very much interested in that. And I own a couple of NFTs, but too soon. So, you can stop me at any time because the list goes on.
No, this is great. This is absolutely amazing. And, by the way, this also can, kind of share with, if people go through your course, what they're going to get a taste of as well. Right. This is all a part of it. So,
and I tell everything. I say how much things cost, would I do it again? Would I do it differently? Where would I put money, as the book sells and as it, we're going for minimum Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller lists. I've already been on Amazon top seller list for weeks, and it's not even released yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's not out there yet. Well,
but it's still number one in 4 categories at least. And New York Times would be great, but it's a very curated list that even if I were on Penguin, let's say, or HarperCollins, and sold 100,000 books in 1 week, that doesn't allow me to be on the New York Times bestseller list for certain.
Right.
They have to say, we deem her appropriate for this list.
Yes.
So, that's not the first and foremost thing. And then we're doing, oh God, I can't believe I didn't say this. We're doing an online virtual summit in the metaverse on March 22nd, and you better sign up for it.
Oh yeah. That's the day after my birthday. So, we'll celebrate.
So cool. You don't need Oculus. You just need to be on a desktop or a laptop with Chrome. And we have interactive activities and different speakers, and I'll be speaking. It's so cool. Then, because I own an events and entertainment production company, we're doing a live in-person gala performance with a champagne reception following at the San Francisco MoMA on March 26th.
Oh, that's amazing. Wait, a live performance. Are you performing? Are you going to sing?
Yes.
Oh, and play.
With my band.
Yeah.
Because I have the music. Every chapter has a song that's attached to it that I've either written, but all of them I've recorded.
Right.
And in the Audible version, there's music that goes throughout the whole book.
Fun. So just so the audience knows, when we got to see you speak, you also sang and performed. I mean, it was amazing. And the songs that you've written, I mean, it just flows so nicely together and just touching and heartwarming. So anyway, that's I can't wait. It'll be an Audible treat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you, like, of course, I want you to read the book because there's a different experience when you read it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then later, because the Audible won't be out right away, you could buy the Audible, listen to it while reading.
And you self-recorded. You recorded it, right? You did it. Okay.
It's my voice. And I love, like, I've heard it now 3 times.
Yeah.
And it didn't make me want to, put my head in the sand. It sounds really good.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that you like the way you sound too, because we're our own worst critics, right? When it comes to.
I've been in a recording studio forever. So I was very comfortable there. And
Good.
I'm really proud of everything how it shaped up.
Me too. I'm just so proud of you and get to hear this experience too. So tell me a little bit more about the gala. You're going to do, so share just a little bit more.
Red carpet entrance,
Ooh.
step and repeat. And you have to be on the step and repeat if you want to be in the San Francisco Magazine, who is sponsoring the event. And they'll publish the photos the month after the event. Then you come into the MoMA Theater. We'll do an hour performance with my band where I'll do some readings of some excerpts and, play. We'll play a few whole songs, which I did do that with you, but anyway, it'll be woven throughout. Then we'll exit into the atrium, which is this giant, beautiful, it's the entryway of this SF MoMA, where there'll be drinks and food and aerialists and other interactive activities and a band. So it's just a big blowout celebration. I'm doing this book launch very differently than most authors do. And I'm really proud of that.
I wouldn't expect it to be any other way aside from being different and unique.
Yeah, it's experiential marketing. And in experiential marketing, you're not selling. You're just having people experience the brand, and then they can decide for themselves how much in bed they want to be with you.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Any thoughts on doing more than one book? Are you gonna continue writing after this? I would imagine you would, but
yes. So I have a business book, How to Scale and Grow Your Company by 50% or more, that I have written a course for, and I think I'll make sure that the book goes along with the course very well, but can be standalone. There is another story of my dear friend and mentor Bobby Sharp, whose famous song "Unchain My Heart" that Joe Cocker and Ray Charles made famous. I have 24 hours of interview footage with him. So that could be the next book. And then I'm going to publish other entrepreneurs' books under the Poignant Press label.
Well, maybe I'll have to hit you up for that when I get mine done. I love it. I love it. Natasha, tell people how they can get the book when it comes out. Give us all the details here.
If you go to officialnatashamiller.com, you get to see a bunch of stuff, and you will be forwarded to Amazon or Barnes and Noble. But if you buy it, if you start from my site, then you get these extra bonuses depending on how many books you buy. So if you buy 1, you get some special stuff. If you buy 5, you get some really special stuff. If you buy more than that, it just starts stacking and stacking. Or you could just go to Amazon.com and buy it there and get no special anythings.
No, drive traffic to your website. That's good for SEO for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's another marketing secret.
Yeah.
There's one QR code in the book at the beginning. So I'm going to be supplementing the book with a website page that only you can get if you get the book, where you see photos and music and some other musings. And then there's a little Easter egg in the book, and I can't tell you where.
Okay.
I will know.
Yes.
If you've read it and if you've gotten to this certain place.
Ooh, Ooh, okay. It's a treasure hunt. Yes, I love it. And like the Choose Your Own Adventure books, remember those?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just telling we went to a toy store with the boys. We did the great gift certificate redemption day because, after 2 years of not being able to do anything really. So we had a good redemption day. And anyway, and the Choose Your Own Adventure books were there. And so we had to explain these things to our teenage boys, and they were like, yeah, whatever, Mom. But anyway.
Did you tell them about Garanimals too?
Oh, well, they were back on their cell phones in a minute, Anyway, but thank you so much, Natasha. This has been great. And I can't wait to see the success of this book out there and you out there. And I want to see pictures of the gala and all the fun things that you're doing.
You can just fly down. It's an hour trip.
It's true.
I know this because I'd never been to Boise before.
That's right.
And I flew up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm here already. So anyway, but come to the summit for sure.
There you go. Yeah, I definitely will sign up for the summit. I'm going to actually be vacationing for spring break with the boys in my birthday week. So we always take it off, but we're going to be in McCall. So near Boise. And anyway, but I can watch from there and I can't wait. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And for all of you who are listening now, of course, go and get Natasha's book. And if you feel like you've heard some value in today's episode, go give us a review and then share us out there where other people need to hear this too. And until next time, everybody, enjoy the journey.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Want to continue the journey? Don't miss out on new episodes. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.